Awesome. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Mindview software. Mindview is used for mind mapping. It's a software that allows connecting topics, ideas, and it's used for more than that. You can use it as an organizational tool, time management, and even a report writing. It gives you a visual tool to write your essays, reports, any writing assignments, even like study for your exams and homework. Um, it can also be used as like an organizational tool where you put links and the different documents that you can access from. Um, and I'm gonna show you the process of installing it and how you can navigate around it, explore it by your own if you're interested, and show you an example and especially for a writing example and some of the built-in examples that you can go and change and explore with later. Some information that for students who are watching the recording, if you want to access, you should contact our um, staff to get access to and the license of the software. Again, the software will be free for the students in TRIO, SSSP, and SSSV. Um, In the upcoming hour, I'm going to be showing you the process, and if a QR code or links pop up, please do not use them. I think those are mainly used for my account, and you can use them when you get your account. You can download it from those QR codes. Um, Again, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to explore it on your own later, and or you're having trouble using it for your assignments, feel free to book appointments with me or Brenda, and we will be more than happy to help you with it. All right, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. Does everybody see my screen? Can you click on? Okay. So I'm gonna show you the way you will be receiving the access to the software is an email like this. It's an invitation to join Mindview suite account, and it's an invitation by Jessica, who's the director of the Trio programs. And you would click accept invitation on this email, and then it would require you to create an account or join in either through Google or inputting your email address. The way I did it is directly through Google, and I enter my account, and this is the first web page you will show me. As I mentioned, these are the QR codes to I can download the phone apps, and there's for Windows, Mac, or there's an online version, and it can only be used for the mind mapping, which I'll be showing. The software has other abilities that on the online version cannot do. I personally have Windows, so I'm going to be showing the Windows process. Again, if you need help with Mac OS, we can help you in person later. So I'm going to click on download. And when it downloads, I've already downloaded this later, downloaded this earlier. You click on the downloaded file, and it might take a few seconds for the installation. And the whole process of installation might take a couple minutes. And in the meanwhile, I can talk about um, the process. Yes, so you press next. You can choose any specific location you want it to be. Um, and you accept the terms, press next. This is where your location you can choose. And you click on install. If you have a modern, like a very new PC, um, and not of it like very old, older than like maybe 10 years, I don't think you'll have any issues installing this. Um, and it might take a couple minutes. Again, for some PCs, it might take longer than it would on the modern PCs. So don't worry about that. If it causes any issues, again, feel free to bring your PC in. We can help. Um, and if you're using the online version, like if you're using a computer lab, either at our office or at the library, on campus. You can use the online version. Again, the phone apps have abilities that allow you to gather um, resources and set reminder for the organizational tools the software has. It's less of like using it to create um, mind maps and for like the purpose, but I think you can do that as well. Uh, but yeah, it's mainly kind of like a tool where you can look up resources on your phone and add it to your list, and I'll show that later. Um, I think this might take another 1 or 2 minutes. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to talk about the um, all the different kind of tools Mindview offers. One of them, of course, is mind mapping. It has like a timeline where you can input all of your assignments, or if you're a history major, you're taking history class, you want to put like historical events, you can input all of those on a timeline. It will show it to you. And if you're doing a team project, group project, you can um, dedicate tasks, delegate them to different people in the group, and kind of see the progress for each of the separate tasks you need to do for the group project. Yeah, and I will show you how you can access those different files later. I wanted to give a um, comprehensive view of like even how you can install it. Um, for people who are less tech savvy, I didn't realize it would take this long, so I apologize. Almost done. And when it's done, you click on finish, and the icon should show up, and it should look like this. And I would click on this to open. I'm sharing my whole screen, so hopefully when I open it, it will show. Okay, let's try again. Okay. Okay, so Mindview, when you open it for the first time, menu might be a little bit different here, and I'll show you. And the menu just like changed right before our eyes as well. This is the page you will see. You want to start with a mind map. That's what we'll be covering mostly for our workshop. So I'm gonna click on the mind map, and this is the page you will see. And on the left side, every time you open it, you get a quick start where there's um, short videos and where you can navigate different tools inside Mindview and tutorials. So feel free to explore those. And this is the first page you see. I want to start with an example. I'm gonna go to the file and I'm going to open an example showcasing the tools, the abilities of Mindview. So I here have a mind map where I'm connecting all the tools you can use within Mindview and what each of them can be good for. Again, there's more to these. Giving an example, you can have a mind mapping where it's good for brainstorming and studying. Um, for project scheduling, teamwork, you could have Gantt charts. Um, Again, for like more efficiency, you want like tracking, you can use work breakdown structure and concept maps. And again, like mind mapping can be used for writing. And I'm gonna show you guys soon. So I'm gonna go back and go through the menu and kind of get started. So we're gonna start with a blank. We started with a blank page, and you see the subject button in the middle. During this workshop, I'm gonna be using clicking, and if I use double clicking, a change will occur. So if you see suddenly like this happens, that means I double clicked, and or something gets added to some topic we have already. It's again through double clicking. If I click once, nothing happens. Again, I'm going to be using some shortcuts. For example, if I want to undo like a change I just did, I press Control Z, and you can see that at the bottom of my page. And I added that just to avoid confusion. So when I'm talking about things, so Control Z is for undoing, and I deleted. You can see if I want to copy something, I press Control C and Control V. Again, these are Windows shortcuts, and it might be different and for Mac. So we're gonna get started. Um, on the menu, we have Home, where we have variety of buttons and elephant in the room everywhere. Now you can see AI. We're gonna cover that as well. We have Insert, where we can things we're gonna cover from here is citation and capture. And then we have our view where we can change how some pages look like. First and foremost, um, I want to change, um, unfortunately, the menu changes sometimes. So I'm going to get started with adding some topics. An example I'm going to use, we're going to say we have an assignment, a writing assignment, and it's on famous authors. So I'm going to click on our subject, and our topic is famous authors. So I can think of ways like, I don't know, kind of having the writer's block. I don't know where to start. I can use the AI button and use create topics and brainstorm. And it uses OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, and it can kind of give ideas where you can start with, what you can write. And it's not the best thing, as you can see, like I want to write about multiple authors, not a like specific one, but it just gives you somewhere to start with. Um, we're gonna use some of the topics here. So we see early life, we see notable works. So we're gonna take those and create our own. I'm gonna double click here to create, let's say we're gonna, in our writing, we're gonna talk about two famous authors, Charles Dickens and um, Ernest Hemingway. Now, for each of these, I want to talk about as we got an idea. So double clicking to give us a subtopic. I want to talk about early life. Before I forget, I'm also part of the nuclear. And doing this once more, famous works. So then I can drag to grab both of these items I just wrote. I press Control C to copy it, press on my other author, and Control V. Now I have two different authors I will be talking about in my essay. And again, for a real writing assignment, maybe we'll be talking about more authors. Since I'm giving some example, I'm just gonna go with these two. So the software has a drag and drop feature where you can drag items and add them to other. So as you can see now, this author became a subtopic of our famous authors, and we do the same thing. And we can move around our topics, um, change their order, um, and the order you might not think it won't matter. It depends on um, the assignments you're using Mindview for, and I'll show an example. I want to show so one feature Mindview has. Um, so the software has been built on top of Microsoft Suite, and it has a very similar menu to them. So in the view section, you can change in the design section, you can change the color of the page. And this is good for especially students who have dyslexia. And more often than not, if you have been tested, you would have um, a designated RGB value where you can input it, and that would help what you see. This is, in fact, very bad. This might be a little bit better. Um, For the eye, again, you can change the text color. You can, depending on what the background you're using, I'm gonna keep what it is right now. Um, but yeah, that's an accessibility feature they have. Um, Another thing we can see under um, the yes, we have our color scheme. We can change different clouds we have. I'm gonna show you guys also how you can change back, change the menus. So the menu has two options. Um, okay. Um, I'll discuss that later because I've been having trouble with this myself, and probably would be an addendum to the workshop I'll add later. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and like we want to add some stuff to um our mind map. So one thing that can help kind of visualizing beside texts, we can add pictures. On the right side, there's a pictures menu. We can, for example, look up Charles Dickens. And again, with the drag and drop feature, I can drag it, bring it. I can have it on top of my topic. And it is taking some time. Oh, it restarted. Yeah, we're having technical difficulty. Okay, it went back quite a little bit. Um, I'm gonna instead show an example I have from earlier. Okay, so this is an example I made beforehand, and just in case while we're facing technical difficulty, um, most likely you guys will not. I've been having trouble with my computer, and since I'm like streaming on Zoom, it's having some issues. Um, so you can drag and drop pictures. You can change the location, inside, outside. You can play around with it. Um, and so I'm going to talk about um, adding text and attachment. So for each of the topics we have, you can right click and you can insert You see, you can add subtopic, pre-topic, you can add comments, floating comments where it would be connected to it. Um, you can have a text note, pictures, add link attachments. Attachment can be PDF file or a Word document. Um, I'm gonna use the text notes, and a menu like this will pop up. And I'm gonna add like information about Ernest Hemingway's early life. And I have a notepad ready. I'm gonna copy some information and paste it here. And let's say, yeah, I input this information, I close it, and then it will show up here. The different notes I would be having. This shows up. This is from earlier I had, and this is from what I just copied and added. Um, yes. Um, so another thing we can do, I'm gonna demonstrate. For example, we wanna talk about one of their famous work. Um, you don't need to double click. So right click, insert, and text notes. I'm gonna add another text editor and talk about Charles Dickens' uh, famous works. And let's say, for example, I want to talk about um, one of Charles Dickens' work, Oliver Twist, and I want to cite it, and I will be using like quotes or paraphrases from it. So the way we can do that is I will be closing that, and you can see the attachment got added. The way we can add citation, I will go to Insert. Under Citation, I can select Insert Citation. And so we want to add a new source, and we can click on this. You can, if in the STEM fields, you've seen Zotero before. It's a software to add citations for paper, for research. What I'm going to be showing is a WorldCat. It's a built-in software for Mindview. And when we click here, let's say we want to talk about um, Charles Dickens, Oliver Twist book, and we select, and it will show up here. I am most likely not choosing the correct thing, um, but we're just gonna go with it. So I'll press Insert, and then when I go underneath our text editor, I click on it. On the right side, we have a research bar. I'm going to click on that, and it's gonna show our sources. I'm gonna try again under citation, insert. Okay, my citations. Okay, there we go. And you can see that it's been added to our file, text editor along with our text. Another feature Mindview has is underneath the insert, it has a capture button. This allows us to go to outside the software, to websites, to book, and it has it on the mobile apps that you can use and capture information. So I'm going to click on it. Um, a menu like this will show up on your screen. Will it show up? Yes. And I'm going to go to a browser. I'm going to look up about, let's say, Ernest Hemingway, and select this text. In this menu, I'm going to click on it and click on capture text. Now, when we go back to our file, this will show up that is telling us um, our source is being added. So this today at 12:29, and then I can go talking about Ernest Hemingway, early life, um, and I will click on our document. Then I will drag and drop our citation, and I've had it earlier before. You can see it will show up along with the yes, and it will add the citation, and I will show that later as well. When we're exporting, we'll go to the home menu. Okay. Review. So, at different instances of using the software, there is a button that chooses using a simple menu. It's not the simplified mode, but to be able to use the export option on Mindview, you can always look it up here in the search bar, click on export, and then it will ask you what format you would like it as, and you can choose Microsoft Word, and we were gonna discover the custom Word. So this will show you this menu that it has um, different formatting. As you can see, there's like some notable ones: MLA style, Harvard style, APA, Chicago style. Um, and I think I'm having different I'm seeing different menus than I did before because I might have downloaded a different version than I had. So let's say I'm gonna choose the MLA format, and then I'm gonna go to the general. In my uh, export, I don't want to include any images, so I'm gonna check off the pictures. If I want to keep any comments, I want to add the text notes that I wrote underneath each of our uh, topics. And I want to include bibliography according to my templates. And I chose MLA, and I'm going to click on export. This may take a few minutes. Not minutes, few moments. We're going to open the document. And if a error like this will show up, you can click on yes and press on OK. Okay, so now we see we have a table of content, MLA format writing about the early life, all the different notes that I had, and even citing the source we found through the capture. Um, we can see it here. Um, and then for our bibliography, we can see everything that we chose and we cited. Um, Again, it gives us the formatting we chose. So this is showing MLA format. And also I'm going to mention this, um, like any other online software that like does automatic formatting, it's always good to double check it. There may be issues, depending on how the source was fed to the software. Um, Always good to check that. And yeah, we get the skeleton of our assignments, and we go from having the writer's block and using visual representation of what we want to write about, so skeletons that we can later add on to work on more other abilities we can um, do with the export. I'm going to close the word. So I'm going to look up the export option again on top. Microsoft PowerPoint. We can do a quick PowerPoint export. I'm actually going to do the customized one because I'm going to show you some of the options they have. So you can choose like a blank or like use a template, and it will use the content of your documents. We can say include images and give us a unformatted slides, and we're going to open it. And we can see that from just that visual representation, we have some slides that even include some of their citations, um, along with the texts. And this way basically gives us ability to not worry about formatting until the very end. And we can just jot down what we have on our mind memory, what we look up on our phone, through the capture option. And we will be later get that skeleton from the export and add to it or change it. This was the essence of the writing. Um, Again, as I mentioned, there has been like changes to the menu, and if you have issue, um, you can always ask us. Feel free, we can explain. I'm gonna show some of the built-in examples and templates they have that you can explore and play around with, and also show a more completed version of the famous authors that I went through and they have built-in. You can explore the built-in um, examples when you go to the file and underneath new. You can see from template, we can select one of these. Let's go to um, education, for example, and we can go to um, science. I want to show some physics, chemistry examples. So we have here, um, let's choose a chemistry example. Okay. So as you can see, you can summarize your science classes material, lessons, and demonstrated using mind maps, and will help you better study, better remember, memorize material. I'm going to show some other examples. Um, Underneath education, um, we can have, let's say, some life sciences. And again, like formatting can be different. You can change the coloring. You can make it as personalized as you can. You can add your own pictures. Yeah. And this is a life science example talking about the evolution. And again, it could be just something not necessarily you want to print. It could be something you use on the software to study with. Um, there, as I mentioned, there's like a timeline feature. I'm gonna show an example with that. Um, I'm gonna use the history one. There's this timeline of famous buildings and when they have been built. There we go. And you can see all the different years. Um, Again, this could be used for history classes. It could be used just um, making a timeline of your semester, of when all the exams, assignments are going to be, important dates, um, deadlines you want to include. And maybe another example, I will show, I want to talk about some of the business ones. They have um, like project management and scheduling. They can get like very advanced and different from what you would want. For example, for group projects, you could use the mind maps again. You can do all the different tasks, phases of your project that you need to do, add notes to um, dedicate team members for it. Yeah, and you can start all the different kind of um, mind maps and documents you can see here. When you start, when you go to the file and underneath new, you can choose. Um, I'm gonna explore some of the topics underneath the view. I'm gonna go back to our example. So here underneath the view, we can see we can change how we want it to look like. We can have a top-down, okay, work breakdown structure. This makes less sense for like stuff like this, but it can still be easy to eyes. You want the direction to be different. Again, you can choose like timeline or outline for any sort of project you're working on, but unless you have dates underneath each of your topics, it will not organize it well. And then let's go back to view. You can have like an outline, gives you of all the different things. This is if you need projects starting when to when. I'm gonna go back again. Yeah, and if you want, like you're having issue with the export option again, um, on the menu that shows here, you can right click and you can add the um, show a quick access toolbar as well as customizing it. I'm gonna show it first and don't go to customization. I'm gonna go to file and select the export button and add it to our menu. So I'm going to click on export. Okay. And we can see, oh, I did not add it. So I'm going to do it again. Underneath the file, I'm going to click on export and I'm going to click on add. And then I press OK. And as you can see, the export button shows up here. When I click, I can do Word, PowerPoint, Excel. I can even have it as PDF instead of Word. Yeah. I'm gonna have some final reminders and then for some questions. Again, I'm also new to the software. I'm learning it. You want to explore anything? You have questions? Feel free to. I'm gonna have some time for questions. Um, if you haven't already, you joined late. Please fill out the Google form that is provided in the chat. Um, Input your student email, and you will receive an email that you receive the access to the software license. Again, this workshop is recorded and it will be posted. If you want to reference back to it, feel free to look up tutorials online and use the website itself. Um, And that concludes my presentation about the software. Is there any questions?